What's up guys, Arden here with Yellow House Aerial, and today we're going to be talking about the optimal number of batteries and chargers to have to get the most flight time out of your drone. Our videos tend to go a little bit long, so I'm going to pick up the pace on this one. One of the first things I noticed when out flying our drones a couple years ago was how long you can fly, or really how long you can't fly, because your drone runs out of battery and you have to head home to charge it. Now, when flying in professional situations like on a Hollywood film, you have to be aware of how long you need to fly based on the shots that are required, and how long you can fly based on the number of batteries and chargers that you have at your disposal. You can do the math. Let's say 20 minutes per battery, and 3 batteries means you could fly for 1 hour. But what if you wanted to fly all afternoon, and what if you could be charging some batteries while flying with others? How long could you fly continuously without taking a break? This gets into some complicated math, but I went ahead and did all that math for you. This is our Excel sheet for the Inspire 2. Start with this area in blue here by entering your average flight time and how long it takes to charge a pair of batteries, how many batteries you have, and how many chargers you have. Once you enter this information, you'll see the output numbers start to change, as well as this grid updating with your number of possible flights and how long you might have to wait for batteries to charge. We have 8 pairs of batteries and 3 chargers at the moment, so that gives us about 14 flights or 280 minutes of continuous flight time. Obviously, you can't change drone batteries instantly. It takes a second to switch them out. Sometimes you might stop to talk, change a lens, or plan your next shot. If you have about an hour of flight time, it's probably going to take you actually an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 to actually fly that out. So keep that in mind, but for the purposes of this calculator, we're going to talk about purely theoretical continuous flight time. Everything should be explained in the comments here once you download this file, but if you have any questions, obviously don't hesitate to reach out. Next on the left, I've created a graph of how much flight time you get with a varying number of batteries and chargers. You can see that with up to 5 batteries, it doesn't really matter how many chargers you have, you still get the same amount of flight time. After that point, we really start to see the number of chargers come into play. The more chargers you can have running simultaneously drastically affects the amount of flight time that you can have when operating. So looking at this graph, it wouldn't make sense to invest in 12 pairs of batteries while only having 1 charger unless you really aren't going to have access to power wherever you're flying. You can get the same amount of flight time out of 5 or 6 batteries just by having 4 or 5 chargers, and chargers are cheaper than pairs of batteries. At the bottom here, I've broken down the total cost of batteries and chargers and how those relate to your flight time. Depending on how much flight time you need, you want to spend the least amount of money possible to get the most amount of time out of your drone. If your cost of batteries and chargers is low, like these green ones here, you're going to get better value for your flight time than, let's say, having 2 batteries and 2 chargers. Though if you were going to be buying 4 additional chargers for the Inspire 2, it might be worth investing in the DJI charging station for the other features it brings, like discharging and centralized charging for Sendance and Crystal Sky batteries. You can modify the battery and charger cost here to fit your currency, and pretty much everything should update automatically. I'll put the download link for that Excel sheet below. Now let's talk takeaways. With the Inspire 2 at about 6 batteries, the charging capability becomes far more important. If you only need about an hour or an hour and a half of flight time, just stick to those batteries and the 1 charger and you'll be fine. It's at about that 2-hour mark of flight time that charging capability becomes far more important, and it's worth investing in additional chargers to get a lot more continuous flight time out of your drone, instead of just having a ton of batteries, a ton of weight, and spending a whole lot of money. Obviously, different drones in different situations have different flight times, and this Excel sheet won't apply to every drone. So if you have a different drone that you'd like to see an Excel sheet for, comment down below with your drone and your flight time, and I'll put together an Excel sheet that calculates how long you'll be able to fly based on batteries and chargers for that aircraft. Hopefully this has answered some of your more in-depth questions about how many batteries you need and how much continuous flight time you can get out of the Inspire 2. My next video is going to be about the costs and benefits of using a generator to extend your flight time. Once it's done, it'll be right here. If you found this useful or helpful, give us a like down below. Be sure to subscribe to see what else we're into. My name is Arden Shibley for Yellow House Aerial, and I will see you in the next video.